F-16s intercepted her tiny plane. What the pilots discovered will shock you. Unidentified aircraft, you are in restricted airspace. Divert immediately, or you will be forced down. The radio crackled with the stern voice of an F-16 pilot, his fighter jet roaring just yards from her tiny Cessna. Inside the cockpit, Sarah Mitchell's hands trembled on the controls. She wasn't supposed to be here. She wasn't even supposed to be alive. The F-16s flanked her like hawks circling prey, their afterburners glowing in the twilight. One wrong move and they'd shoot her out of the sky. But what the pilots didn't know, what they couldn't know, was the horrifying truth hidden inside her plane. This wasn't just a wrong turn. This wasn't just a mistake. By the time the fighter jets forced her down on a remote military runway, the truth would send shockwaves through the Pentagon. Because Sarah wasn't the threat. She was the only one who knew what was coming. 3 days earlier, Sarah had been just another small-town pilot, running charter flights over the Rockies. A widow, still grieving her husband's mysterious death, she buried herself in work, until they came for her. The men in black suits, the unmarked cars, the whispers of a cover-up. Her husband had left her one final message. If anything happens to me, take the plane. Fly to these coordinates. Now, with no one left to trust, she had no choice but to follow his last instructions. Straight into a storm she never saw coming. The first warning came as a blip on her radar, a military jet closing fast. Then another. Then the radio burst to life with the command no civilian pilot ever wants to hear: you are ordered to land immediately. Sarah's blood ran cold. They knew. And if they caught her, she'd disappear, just like her husband. She pushed the Cessna to its limits, weaving through mountain passes as the F-16s matched her every move. Last warning. Comply or we will engage. Her mind raced. The coordinates led here. Into restricted airspace. Why? What was so important that her husband died for it? Then she saw it. A facility hidden in the valley below. A place that didn't exist on any map. And inside her plane? A single envelope stamped top secret. The F-16s forced her down. Soldiers surrounded her. But when they opened the envelope, even the hardened special ops team froze. Oh my God. The documents inside weren't just classified. They were a death sentence. For millions. Handcuffed in a concrete interrogation room, Sarah realized the truth. Her husband hadn't just known the secret. He'd stolen it. And now the men who killed him were coming for her. Gunfire erupted. The power went out. In the chaos, a shadowy figure grabbed her arm. Run! The facility was burning. The F-16s scrambled again. And Sarah had one last choice: destroy the evidence or let the world see the truth. Dawn broke over the smoldering ruins. Somewhere, a news anchor murmured about an accidental explosion at a private research site. But in a quiet motel room, Sarah Mitchell stared at a single, copied flash drive, the only proof left of what they'd tried to bury. And as the first TV reports flickered to life, she whispered, "It's not over." What was in the envelope? Why did her husband die? And who else is watching? The truth is worse than you can imagine.